That's great. Well, thank you, Jessica, and attending today, all our members. We really appreciate it, and those that will listen to this recording at a later date. Uh, I'd just like to say a little bit about Granite and how Granite came to be a preferred partner with the coalition. Our first meeting with Granite was back in June of 2020. Seems like a long time ago. Uh, we talked with Granite, talked with several other companies like Granite, determined that Granite was the best in class for what we needed for our schools, and brought Granite to the Contract and Program Committee at that time in our old governance structure. We brought them to the Contract and Program Committee for approval. The Contract and Program Committee took a look at Granite and said, we just aren't comfortable because we're not IT experts. We'd like you all to do a focus group, get together some IT professionals from the different colleges and have them evaluate Granite. Well, we did that. We did that in February of 21, and the focus group unanimously concluded that the coalition should form a relationship with Granite, and Granite should be one of our preferred vendors. So I'm happy to bring Granite to you all today. Let me turn it over. Actually, let me introduce Joseph Gephardt. Joseph has been the point of contact for us at Granite since June of 2020. And also I'll introduce Vincent Daria. He's the Director of State and Local Education, divisions. So with that, I will turn it over to either Joe or Vince. I'm not sure who wants to take it from here.
Thanks, Lyon. Yeah, this is Vince Daria speaking. Appreciate the introduction. I think my goal today is to provide just a high-level overview on Granite, who we are, what we do, and how we do it, and how it could potentially benefit your services related to the category of telecommunications, which we cover. So I'll start out with a little bit of background on Granite just to get everyone comfortable with the business, and then I'll transition into some of the efficiencies that we could bring to the business. Granite was started back in 2002, so this is our 20th year in business. We're a $1.75 billion privately held company. We're headquartered up in the Quincy, Massachusetts area, just outside Boston. And we are the largest wholesale provider of telephone service, internet service, and cellular service. We support about 18,000 businesses, about 1 million locations throughout the United States. We only do business, commercial, and public sector services. We do not do any residential. And when we sign long-standing contracts with the providers, we operate in every one of the US states and all Canadian territories. We negotiate with the providers to be able to discount existing services where we can without making any physical changes to the actual infrastructure or to the service providers. So as an example, if you have phone lines, it doesn't really matter what they're used for. They can be used for voice communication, faxing, elevator telephone lines, fire alarm systems, internet services for an office, internet service for a common area. It's basically any billable charge that you would pay to a legacy phone provider, a cable company, or a cellular provider. Granite has about 200 wholesale agreements across the country. When we facilitate the billing records transition, obviously as a wholesaler, there's generally a cost savings benefit to that transition. And the best way to explain the business models, let's just say today a phone bill costs $1. We buy it for about 50 cents. We resell it back for 75 cents. So there's usually about an average of 25% savings. And being honest with everyone, we usually make about 25%. So there's enough margin in the savings that we receive that we give you a portion as a savings. We take a portion as a profit and to operate as a business. And it's a win-win for both sides. Question we usually get when we explain that is, well, why would the phone companies do that? What's the benefit to them? What would drive them to take less on the services they already have? And the answer is this is a regulated business, which all derived from the baby bell divestiture back in the 80s and 90s. The last edition of the baby bell divestiture happened in the late 90s. We started in 2002. And what that was is basically the phone companies wanted to sell long distance. They pushed on the FCC to sell long distance. The FCC agreed under the condition that they needed to create a competitive tariff on the local services, which is basically a set of rules in telecom. Whatever you guys buy for $1, we get for half off. Being the largest wholesaler in the country, we get the biggest discounts, and that's how we provide the savings. Second thing is, let's just say I'll take AT&T as an example. AT&T, they're notorious, and most companies are in the phone space, for not providing good support. So customers will likely look for an alternative to move off of AT&T. So when Granite steps in and provides better pricing, better service, better support, they're going to make 50 cents on the dollar, but they're not going to lose the customer completely. So it really is a win-win for all three parties. The second benefit that we bring to the table is we provide you with a premier support team, which is one person backed by a team of 10, white glove customer service and support. That person will be your single point of contact for any moves, adds, changes, repairs, disconnects, new installations, billing questions. They'll basically be your liaison between the phone company and whoever is calling on the other end. So one-stop shop for everything. We're 24/7 as well. All of our support is done here in the US. We generally will pick up the phone in less than a minute, and that is a live person out of our corporate headquarters up in Quincy, Massachusetts, 24/7, 365. Third efficiency is we take all of the bills, all of the inventory, and we pull them into a central online intuitive portal where we store everything for the life of the account. Also through the portal, we will run about 83 different audits and optimization studies where we will look at all of your inventory and recommend what can be removed and or adjusted to provide additional cost savings. A couple of examples are phone lines that maybe have added features that aren't being used. It could be an internet provider that is not the best out there. Maybe we could transition you from one to another and get you better pricing and or increased bandwidth. Those are a couple of options. We usually see about 8 to 10% in additional savings through our audit, and any of the auditing savings we provide will drop straight to your bottom line. Fourth and final efficiency is customization, consolidation of the billing, where we have the ability to do a number of things when it comes to billing. First off, if you receive several bills and you'd like to receive one bill, we can consolidate it into a single file. We do not have to consolidate. We have some customers in the space that run their books and accounting as different business entities where they need the billing separate. So we can accommodate that, not a problem. We do not have to consolidate. Secondly, we bill all services on a uniform bill cycle. We bill from the 1st through the 31st. All bills generally come out by the 7th, and the bills can be sent in the mail. The bills can be sent as an email, as a PDF attachment. We have a CSV version, an EDI version, an Excel version, and our accounting system that generates the bills can provide files that are uploadable in most AP or financial systems that you may be using to help automate the billing when it's released on a monthly basis. Other services that we provide beyond our wholesale abilities is we do have our own voice over IP product. We also have our own SIP solution. We have direct trunk routing into Microsoft Teams. So if you are for collaboration, if you use Teams or Zoom, we can generally work with either. And then we have a network integration division where we can do cabling, field services work beyond the DMARC. So as an example, if you have a location where you need someone to come in and run some Cat5 cabling, or you have a phone room that's a mess and you need it to be recabled, re-rack and stacked, we can do all of that on a one-time dispatch. We can do it on a national rollout. If you had a project with the scope of work, we will price it out up front. We usually can have a tech on site anywhere in the country within 4 hours or less. And then the last thing I'll mention that we do is we acquired a company last July called Epic. Epic is a cellular telephone line replacement product that gets rid of all of your analog lines that are tied to common area connections, elevators, fire alarms, meter monitoring. The phone companies continue to raise the rates. They continue not to fix the facilities when there's reoccurring problems. So we acquired Epic because Epic is the only telco grade cellular solution that provides you with 3 connections. There's an opportunity to connect to your internet, and then there's 2 cellular cards. We can use any of the 3 from Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. We'll check signal strength and let you know who has best coverage. And then it also has a 24-hour battery backup built in. It's lithium, and it is a managed service. So we know if and when that box goes down, if there's trouble on the box. With copper analog lines, you never know until you get your inspection, and you never know if that line's up or down. So it is a more future-proof solution. It's cost-effective. The regulatory fees that you see on a phone bill are completely removed because cellular doesn't require regulatory fees, and the taxes are usually less than 10%. So it's cost effective, it's future proof, and it's a managed service that's a lot more reliable. As far as seeing what Granite might be able to do for the business, we offer a complimentary savings analysis where we will evaluate 1 month worth of telephone related bills. And it usually takes us about 7 to 10 days. It's very thorough, it's detailed, get back to you. From the analysis, we'll tell you a few things. First off, most importantly, what we would save you. Secondly, we'll look to see if it's just a seamless billing change. And if it isn't, we'll explain why. And then third, if you have any existing contractual obligations, we will take that into consideration. So for example, if you have a contract with AT&T and it has 6 months remaining, we will see if Granite is able to get you out of that contract, put you on our wholesale platform, and eliminate the contract and put you on a month-to-month agreement with us. So contracts usually don't prevent us from being able to take over the service, but that is something that we do vet and we do look into thoroughly before making our presentation and proposing any savings for you to consider. So with that in mind, Jessica, myself, Joe, we will definitely follow up with some materials after, but I would like to open up the floor for any questions. And Lion, I don't know if there's anything you wanted to mention, but from my side, that kind of concludes my short presentation here today.
No, I think that was a great summary, and I appreciate it. We'll just open it up for questions from any of the participants. I'm not seeing any questions as of right now. My guess is everyone else is in the same boat I am, and this is a little too technical for me to even know what to ask. But I'm sure the IT professionals on each campus will have lots of questions, and will be able to vet Granite on their own. But this is a great service. Granite, I don't know if you mentioned, Vince, but Granite has been mostly in the large corporate world, and now they're coming to education, and we're just delighted to have the opportunity to bring them to our smaller schools. Rather than you all be just introduced to the large publics. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah, and Lion, on that note, we're happy to set up, breakout sessions with the IT groups if they would like to talk to us, more about the technical side of how the service works, or before they engage with any invoices or any analysis. We're happy to have those one-off conversations, and we'd be happy also to show a demonstration on our portal, grab some engineers if there's a technical discussion that needs to be had. So we're open and willing to do that if the opportunity presents itself.
I don't know how many of our state members have affinity groups that are the IT coordinators at each school, but this would be a perfect opportunity, or at your IT director meetings, it would be a perfect opportunity for Granite to give a little demonstration.
Sounds good. Well, Lion, we really appreciate the time. Is there anything else that we should go over before we conclude for today?
I don't believe so. I think this recording is going to be made available for all our members that couldn't attend today. So if anyone has questions after the webinar today, they can certainly get in touch with Anita or myself, and we'll direct you to either Joseph or Vincent. So we really appreciate everyone being with us today, and hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Lion. Take care.
Thank you all.